Testing. There, I think yeah. Okay, so Jesus raised Lazarus, and then there was an 11-year-old, not 11, but a little girl who died. And so what did they think? That he could do it, but if he was dead, he couldn't do it? Or I'm kind of thinking through that process there, like...
That's something to think about. The best I can do with that is that some of you saw him in the miracles. That's how I can do it. You think that he did. Even for Peter and John, they mentioned the 2 out of 3 that saw the transfiguration. Now you're up there on the mountain, you see Christ with Moses and Elijah. I mean, nothing can happen to this guy. And sure enough, he dies. So that is the best I can do with that. It's not that good, but that's. I think it was just impossible for them to think that he could die. And even when he was like going to Jerusalem, and he's saying the Son of Man will be crucified, and it was during that same trip. He said, "I'm, be killed. They're trying to put this to their head." That's when James and John get in this argument: who's going to get to sit on Christ's right hand in the kingdom? I mean, that's how out of tune they were. I mean, it's like, yeah, Christ said, "I'm going to die," and they're like, and so when the kingdom happens, can I sit here and sit there? Yeah. To me, it just makes them look really bad. And it makes it impossible then, something that makes them look that bad, they would ever want to be recorded. I mean, if that was me, I'd be saying, "No, I do it the whole time."
Yeah.
I got it. And especially to have the women come, in that culture, to have the women come and tell them what was going on. Impossible. It could never happen in that culture. Never. Greater miracle to explain it away. A lot can be said about that. I thought I saw another hand. There you go.
Do you think it's possible that they just really didn't want him to die, and so they just pushed it all back? In your thought?
In denial.
Yeah, I certainly think that's possible. It sure is indicated by that somewhat by Peter, who at one point when Christ says that I'm going to be done, and Peter says, "Nah, it's not going to happen to you." No. Now, that to me is a really odd passage, because why would you contradict Christ in anything he said ever? Ever. I mean, this Christ did these amazing things, and he says, "I'm going to die," and you have the guts, the temerity, called misplaced courage, whatever you want to call it, to say, "Nah, you're wrong on this one. I've been listening for a long time, and you got this one wrong." It doesn't make any kind of logical sense. It only makes, shall we say, emotional or psychological sense. To me, at least. That's the only explanation I can come up with it. It seems crazy for Peter to say that. Here's another. There you go.
These human beings always want to be in control, and they had totally lost control at this point, and they were just kind of, that's how I see it, they're just, like they just completely stunned. Jesus could do all this stuff, and then they just totally felt completely disoriented and out of control. That's how I see it.
It sure seems that way. It seems like they think they're going to Jerusalem to take over things. It seems that way. And when that didn't happen, and I didn't include it this morning. I thought about it, but I thought I didn't do it. R.J. Rushdoony has a great quote about man forever trying to define reality rather than accept it. And ultimately, that's part of our problem when it comes to God. He defines reality. We can accept or we can reject. But when we reject, we have to come up with something on our own, some other explanation, And we'll even accept the miracle of feathers if we have to, if it fits in with our little definitions. It's a lesson for us. It tells us we need to read the Bible and understand it, because if we don't do that, if the Bible speaks to any part of life at all, and we don't read it and understand it, we will construct our own little alternative reality on it, which will ultimately let us down and destroy us and kill us.
Idolatry, right?
That's what it is. It's what it is. We need to run from that, destroy it. God's saying when you go in there to Canaan, He did not want them to deal with their idols casually. Don't build a museum. It was just break them down, get rid of them, just all traces. We're done. We have to have that deal. We have to. Otherwise, we're embracing death.
You said that were you saying the disciples were looking for Jesus to go in and kind of take over Jerusalem? I mean, I know that the Jews were looking for a Messiah that would act like that, but were the disciples looking for that also?
I think at that point they were looking for something like that. And the reason is that I see that is because I go to that whole James and John problem with her interesting mother involved, which is crazy. But that's at least partly why I see that. The other part is they didn't believe he was going to die. So what could they think that he was going to do once he gets there? And it certainly to me looks like that they were correct. They say they see him coming in Jerusalem with the crowds welcoming him. And they sure didn't seem to have a problem with that or misunderstand that in any kind of way. That's like, it seemed to be consistent with what, no one seemed to be concerned about that. But this is wrong. We know you're going to die, Jesus. It just seems like the whole death thing seemed to have taken them by surprise. Especially when they get in the garden and Christ had predicted, you'll all be offended, you'll all be offended because of me. And that's exactly what happens. They all went off. It seems like they weren't ready for that to occur to me. So what was he going to do? He was going to straighten everybody out. He was going to be the king. Dying, just to me doesn't look like dying, especially that type of death was on their radar screen. Good questions. Well, I want to thank you for your kind attention here this morning.